Hey guys, this video actually isn't like one of my other videos. So this is a actual different video. So I heard something. Never mind. I'm gonna do only up for this video. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you yeep lore. It's not gonna be too long, so get your popcorn. It might actually be a little long. So get your popcorn, get your drinks, sit back, relax, and listen to what I know. So, it all starts with us being, yeeps. We were created by scientists to sew stuff up. Well, for the sewing stuff. You know those balls that your grandma puts her sewing pins on? Yeah. So, wait 1 second. Oh, holy cow! I forgot. I just had it natural to have 4 belly bubbles. I didn't even know it was that. That's what it was called. Okay, guys. Wait 1 second. Okay, I'm still recording. So, those balls that your grandma puts the pins, and the sewing pins on. Well, we're one of those, because, we have those pins. Okay, so, we were like that, and so they were testing something. I think it was a toy Yeti to see if it could come to life. Because the Yeti, the tiny Yeti that we have in the game. So that Yeti that we have, I guess, because we wouldn't make it if it would be able to hurt us. I think they put some sciencey stuff and give it a brain. I think that was their first subject. Or maybe not, because, it only came out in the second version of Yeeps 2.0. Yeah, that's trippy. But, they were probably testing something to make it come to life. I'm not sure of it yet, but I will be looking into it, and I will figure it out. So, yeah, I'll make a short about it, but they're testing something, and they actually dropped some of it on us. I think they were testing the wooden version dummy thing to see if it would come to life. And it didn't, because it dropped on us. So we were brought to life. But then they captured us and they made us the thing that they've tested us. The first yeeps ever were tested. And that sucked. It would suck if you were a tested yeep you would be an original yeep. Like one of those people that have like the alpha shirts. You'd be one of them. And only the people's alpha shirts weren't the only ones. There are more, but they aren't alive now. Those yeeps aren't alive. I think they were testing a dummy version. But I think they were testing like a dummy version of like a tiny toy minifigure. But we were tested until we got to the point where it hurt us. And we hated pain. We got hurt a bunch in the testing. Some yeeps didn't even survive. Of course, I'm not one of those yeeps. I'm one of the technically original yeeps. I actually was here a while. Until I came in during the wires update, like a little bit before that, so I'm not too OG, but technically I am, because yeeps is almost, by the time I'm recording this video, yeeps has almost been here for 2 freaking years. So I'm actually kind of OG, because I would have been here during their birthday. I think that was when they released the party hat. Probably not. Most likely not, but yeeps fought they grew strong. They fought the humans that were testing them. Eventually, they saw all 3 humans as a threat. Every yeep. And when the yeeps got to that point, they really hated them. I really hated. Once they got to the point where they killed every human, they really hated them because they still had some science stuff underground. But I also have a theory of what they were testing. Now that I noticed it in this point of the video, they might have been testing the gnomes, but it's likely not, because they were probably here before us, or we could have made them come to life. But eventually, I think the humans, before we killed them all, the ones underground, they stopped liking testing yeeps because they could have died. So they tested the monsters, not the yeeps. But they see the yeeps as a threat, because anything in their territory, they see as a threat. The only reason they don't kill each other is because they know that all of them went through the same thing. But the thing is, they hate ... which is technically, I forgot his name, but he was the hacker in yeeps that put in the Gyat block. He had a black skin, and I forgot his name. They actually the yeeps were the one that tested him. Testing to see if his power could grow to the point where they could control him and he would do anything they want. Obviously he hated that, so he hated that, and he started to fight back. They eventually knew that he could grow stronger, but that was after the point that he hated them and killed thousands. Those youths their organs got taken from them. I have a theory where he left a note for one yeep to see. And that yeep is Nathan. The main creator, one of the main YouTuber creator of the game. He read it and said, they don't deserve to live. That's why I took everything out of them. That means all the cotton that they had, gone. All the organs that they had, gone. Everything. Even the bubble stuff. Even the bubble stuff. But if you die in yeeps, I have a theory. I have another theory. That you're just a clone. But once you respawn, that's just a clone of your original body. The real one actually died. He gave the power to the other ones before they started hating him to take everything out of them in one attack. Like in FNAF, they just had to kill him. They just had to scare them a lot. They had to jump scare them. That would infinitely kill them. So we started to fight, and we started to, the other scientists that survived put them in a portal that they worked on for a while. Fudge. Okay, so we eventually found the portal, but the humans told the gnomes to never. They actually worked with the gnomes and they were the ones. The gnomes came to our world, and they threw a portal, and gnomes helped the humans make portals. Eventually, we went there, we found it during the Halloween update in 2025. Was it 2025 Halloween update? I can't really remember, but we eventually found it. We weren't able to kill them, so and we actually had to leave them there, which we actually didn't want to do. We kind of wanted to save them, but in the end, they didn't comply. They stayed there forever. Now, but we captured them. Some yeeps, like Nathan and the whole alpha team, captured them. We were able to capture them, and now we can found the technology, kill them. That's the end of their story. But we found tech and everything. We helped create the portal to lead to Yeeps 2.0. And I have a theory on. I think this about the names of the names of the people. Well, names of the chapters. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Yeeps 1.0, through the whole entire of it. Yeeps, the Yeeps beginning, the beginning of their story. So, what better to call it than the Yeeps story? The Yeeps story begins. Chapter 2. Gnome Village. There was a chapter 2. The chapter 2 is what we're in right now. Where we made a different area. But now the adventure area is where they are. But we're actually, like Nathan and lots of them stayed back in chapter 1 because they wanted to build a better world for themselves. They were able to, but we came back to see what's going on. We figured out they built a little area for everyone that stayed back. Personally, I actually didn't stay back. But once we came back, the adventure mode portal is actually Yeep's chapter 2 portal. Well, our story hasn't ended until Yeep's 3.0. It hasn't ended, and Yeep's 3.0 will show that. It hasn't happened yet, but it will soon. Later this year, it will happen. I think in the summer. Forgot when it was. I'm pretty sure it's during the early school, not early school, late school days for kids like me. So we actually are able to go in the future, but during Yeep's 2.0, they accidentally, like during the first leaks of how like videos taken by the Yeeps, the first Yeeps testing after they killed bunches of the humans. That's a desert biome. They added it. They added it a while ago, so yeah, still fun. So, and we kept on going. We killed all the humans, even the scientists. We outlived them. We're actually living a peaceful life, unless you're like one of the PvP people. The gnomes gave us access to have portals, so yeah, that's cool. And we were able to make clothing. In the first testing area when we were just tiny Yeeps and we didn't know what we were doing to cover our body. The newborn Yeeps are the new players, obviously, so. Sorry. I actually am on private, so that's why I'm alone. I don't mind it. I'm not afraid of this. I technically have kids in here. Those guys over there. Hopefully they don't die from the pit. But everything, I didn't tell this in a good way, but this is like a lot of lore on everything. On a lot. But once we got to the wiring tools, we actually figured out wiring was a thing by the gnomes. The gnomes are actually a big part of the story. The story begins back in the adventure mode. So once they were there, they found many threats to themselves, and they could have died. But they came through a portal that they created. Most of them forgot so much, but some of them actually remembered stuff. That's why they were able to show us almost everything they knew. Which everything that they knew is still being revealed to this very day. They had superpowers in the original. They had superpowers. They had actual fish that they ate. They had a shark, but the shark is pretty much just a shark. His story, I'll pick up on a topic in a later video. But we all just live a peaceful life now, and we're uncovering the secrets of the gnomes that they haven't showed us yet. They actually, to us, they showed us stuff, but then the humans came. They found them. They treated them almost exactly like they treated us. Gnome story needs to be a shark and gnome story. I will actually do on a later video, because this video is getting pretty long. So if it gets too long, I won't be able to post it. So see you guys in the next video. It will probably be about the lore of the shark, and I'll actually make a video of the shark and gnome because they have a great history. But everything that the gnomes built, well, every item that they had, almost died though. Almost every item they had almost like disappeared. That's why we had to rebuild it after they remembered what it was. And the people and the gnomes that were remembering that, they're getting old. Cause they were actually losing memory back when they were a normal gnome back in the village. Well, gnome capital and everything. But now they're free but then they actually remembered so much. The portals do the opposite of what you think they might do. They actually regain your memory and not make it disappear. So that's it for the video. Bye.